Hi folks, this is all the fruit. Once again, no idea what I'm tasting here. I'm in Labrador Park in Singapore. Labrador Nature Reserve in Singapore, a small forest on the Singaporean coast. We are basically right at the equator, right at the southernmost tip of Asia. Singapore is an island, which is, basically right on the equator and right where Asia ends. And this stuff, I think I've seen it a couple of times. Looks like a myrtaceae to me, looks like one of the countless Syzygiums. Well, like usually in the jungle, fruits are lying on the ground and we have to establish where they come from. Would be quite easy if they came from this crooked little tree here, because we can see the leaves and even flowers, but nope, they don't come from here. Well, it would also be quite easy if they came from the tree with the big leaves there, because this is a katapa tree. But we see the katapa nuts here in between them, and they are clearly distinct. They do come from this tree, which is a bit of a problem because all the branches and leaves are quite high up. I can see a couple fruits up there, so it's pretty sure they come from there. What is this tree? Not even sure if I can say that any of the leaves on the ground are from this tree. It's quite problematic, but quite the usual thing in the tropical jungles. Most trees are so tall that basically you find fruits on the ground and then you have to guess if there are flowers and leaves on the ground, which flowers and leaves belong to the same species. Of course, if you find a whole little twig on the ground, that's like a jackpot. A twig with leaves, fruits and flowers is a big jackpot, but here I don't see anything. So I cannot even say if the leaves are pinnate or single. If they're in the myrtaceae, they should be single. So I guess I'm seeing small leaves on branches. So no idea. We are just left with the fruits. This distinct, sorry, aircon is horrible. Staying in a hostel, so I cannot turn off the aircon. So it looks like a myrtaceae. It looks like some myrtaceae I've already eaten a couple times. Well, tried. Flesh is dry and boring, with a trace of sweetness. Survival food, or you can pack it into a curry. If you pack it with a lot of tasty spices, I guess it will give bulk to the curry and will be more palatable. Even now it's edible. Tiny bit tart, I would say it's a bit more tart than sweet. Just found a bigger one. A lot less tart, and the sweetness has increased. It's a bit dry, but I would say that this one is not really a survival food. It's okay. I would totally nibble it while on the trail. No. Not bad. Similar to a rose apple without the rose flavor. Fortunately, the rose flavor is the best thing about the rose apple. It's a tiny bit less sweet than the rose apple, a bit less juicy. The flesh is thinner and a bit tougher. But basically like a really low quality rose apple without the rose flavor. I know it doesn't sound great, and it is not great, but it is not bad either. Now I'm wondering what they will taste like when they're even a bit more ripe. Because the really unripe ones I usually found they were more or less a survival food. The last one was not bad. This one is again more unripe. I wonder if they can get more ripe. Fortunately, all the nice yellow fruits around here, this is katapa almond. And yeah, you can eat the flesh of the catappa almond, that's why some animal nibbled it. But this Syzygium, here is another big one, seems to be very common. This is already desiccated and maybe a bit rotten. Yeah, not bad. Not too good, but not bad either. Yeah, even here in the Southeast Asian jungles, one of the most biodiverse biomes in the world, there are species which are common almost everywhere. And this Syzygium is one of them. So it should be easy to ID it. And yeah, it's totally worth eating. Not when there are great fruits around, but when there is nothing else, I would totally rather have this than no fruit.